Hello friends, and welcome to today's project of making homemade oat milk that's cheaper than store-bought and tastes better. The full recipe for this is in the description. I'm going to show you how not to make oat milk slimy. Apparently it's a thing where people don't want their oat milk to be slimy. This happens due to the starch during the blending or soaking process. But first, before we do that, let's do some brand comparing with two oat milk titans. Here I have oat milk from ALPRO and oat milk from OATLY, two major players of oat milk in London. Let's have a look at the ingredients and percentages breakdown for ALPRO. The base is water and 9.8% oats, and the rest are oil, stabilizers and vitamins. What I'm after is a percentage of oats. And now for OATLY. The percentage of oats to water is 10%. They both have oils, vitamins added and a few other non-household items. Both of them contain salt as well. They both come in a 1 liter pack. Let's do a quick sample. Always remember to shake, even though there are stabilizers. Things can still separate. ALPRO has a nice uniform white. It's bright with a pale shine. Let's have a taste. Guess what? It tastes like oat milk. However, a little bit weak, lacking in dimension. Very basic. I have just paid around £2 for basic oat milk. Now, let's have a look at OATLY. The color looks a little watered down. Let's have a taste. No surprise, it tastes like oat milk as well, but only slightly better. It could be the amount of salt that they used. However, since both oat milks have more or less the same amount of oat percentages, it was lacking in oat body, which I found. I also paid about £2.25 for this watered down oat milk. So let's start. Here I am using UK grown Jumbo Oats. The reason I am not using rolled oats, instant oats or porridge oats is because they are all loose bits and they are ground up. In order to avoid it being slimy, the bigger the pieces of oats, the better. Since they both have salt in their recipe, I'm going to use good quality sea salt from Maldon. So here is a nice pinch. I also like a little bit of sweetness in my milks. I'm going to be using dates to sweeten up my oat milk. Dates are good for you and they aren't processed. However, there is date syrup. I'm not using date syrup because I don't want to change the percentage of dry goods to water. So the dates I'm using are Deglet Nour due to its rich sweetness. You can, however, use other dates like medjool, but that's being extra fancy. Now for some calculations. I want to make oat milk based on a 1 liter formula percentage. So to get 1 liter of total mix minus 20% of oats, I am doubling up the oat percentage. I want my oat milk to be a full body and have character. And let's try 7.5% of dates, leaving us with the remaining water being at 72.5%. And let's not forget about that pinch of salt. So let's start the blend. Get your blender and pour in 725 grams of cold water in first. We do this to avoid any dry ingredients from going lumpy at the bottom. This allows the blade to rotate properly. I am not using hot water because hot water activates the starches and thus becoming slimy. Next, pour in 7.5% of dates, which is 75 grams. And then the pinch of salt. Now, pour in 200 grams of oats, making it 20% of total weight. After looking at various recipes online and from different manufacturers, this is twice the golden percentage. I am doing this because I love full-fat milk and I want to try and do the same but in oat milk. That should give us that rich texture. We want to minimize the soak time for the water and the oats. So when they get poured in, we have to blend straight away. I have seen many videos and recipes on this, and 45 seconds is the best maximum time to blend the oats for. Any longer past 1 minute and you start to hydrate the starch, making your oat milk slimy. Once it becomes slimy, it will lose that smooth consistency. Now we're going to strain the oat milk, and the best way to do this is to use a cheese or muslin cloth. You can also use a nut bag. Place your cheesecloth over a large bowl and pour in the blended oat milk. Pull all of the corners together, making the bag come together. Massage the bag. Don't squeeze too hard. You can slowly start to see drips coming from the bottom. Just move around the pulp so the liquid can come out. After about 5 minutes, you will be left with the pulp. You can either throw that away or pop that in your fruit smoothie, making it thicker, or make oat pancakes. Just look at that milk. It looks mighty creamy already. Oat milk that's homemade, twice as good, plus cheaper. No preservatives, additives, or stabilizers. It's also naturally sweet as well. It keeps fresh for 3 days and you can freeze it up to 6 months on standby. Let me have a taste of that. I find it simply delightful. Talk about a full-bodied oat milk that can probably compete with full-fat milk from cows. Well, that's my version of making oat milk. I gave some to Jessica to try and she says it's too thick for her coffee. So I'm going to measure out the rest of what I've got and top it up with some water to make it back to 1 liter. I let her try it again and she approves. But for me, I like it as it was. Extra thick. Now I'm going to show you a color comparison. You can also more or less tell the density of the milks. This is my oat milk percentage. Here are the other 2 titans. Just look at them side by side. The weakest oat milk in color and consistency is the OATLY one. Coming in second is the ALPRO one with its even color distribution and clean look. Mine, however, looks bright, uniform and well-bodied. I am not trying to be biased, but I just want more for how much I spend, as it is so much cheaper to make your own and you can make it better than store-bought. I also had an idea to try making roasted oat milk. I wondered what that would be like, so here we go. Following the same percentages of oats, place the oats on a baking tray and let roast in an oven at 180 degrees Celsius until golden brown. Make sure to spread out the oats to evenly cook. Take them out from the oven to let them cool on the side. It took me nearly 20 minutes to cook them. This is what I mean by golden brown. Once they are cooled, take some and have a smell and taste. They smell almost earthy and nutty at the same time. Let's have a taste. It has a similar taste to popcorn mixed with cereal, but still neutral since there is no sugar or anything. Once again, with the same recipe of 20%, add in the water, salt, dates, and then the oats. Blend for 45 seconds maximum. Use your cheesecloth and strain it. Massage the bag. The color of the liquid reminds me of nut milk, perhaps a faint hazelnut milk. Let's pour some out and try it. I can probably now understand why nobody has or makes roasted oat milk. That is very intense in oat flavor. I mean, it is not bad, it is just very strong. If you were to mix it in with coffee, it might ruin the taste of it. I also wanted to try one more thing, seeing as roasted oats are similar to granola. What if I mix in the basic ingredients of making granola, which is dark brown sugar and cinnamon? Let me dissolve them together. I am trying it out with some ice, because I don't want to burn myself. Actually, this is honestly a lot better. Think of it like making granola milk. This reminds me of when you eat granola with milk and you have finished the granola but still have milk left over. This is similar to that. Oh well, I was just curious. But definitely, the regular white oat milk is way better. Well, there you have it, oat milk that's homemade and twice as good plus cheaper. As usual guys, it was a pleasure having you with me on this journey today. If you enjoyed what you watched, please leave a like, comment down below and subscribe to be notified of upcoming videos, and I shall see you in the next one. Bye for now.